Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Your buddy JohnMegacycle here, and I'm working a lot with cncHD lately on something super exciting, and this is something that we're really both proud to bring you. This is a 3v3 AI tournament. Now, the AI tournaments is something that I worked on a while ago with Command & Conquer General 0 Hour and Red Alert 3, basically matching AI versus AI to see who would win a match. cncHD has taken that concept a complete step, almost a leap forward. And what he's done is he's got a 3v3 AI match. You can see in the loadout here I've got on the screen. What this really means is, right now, custom AI code written by the legend, cncHD. We got 3 Chinas for him, 3 Chinas for me. We're both USA just for some scripting reasons. But what we're going to see is we're going to see 3 AI go at it. Now, this is not vanilla AI code. This is all written by cncHD. And this is a work in progress. So just throwing it out there, if there's anything you want to see specifically happen throughout this matchup, feel free to let us know in the comments. So right now in the scripting, we're going to have a command center and a dozer. They're both going to kill themselves, Unit just lost. Like that. We have here in the bottom, we have a hijacker that can use certain abilities on the battlefield. Right here, I've got a loadout of all of my AI's money values based on the position of the Jarman Kell. And then we also have another ability here we're working on called passive income. But we have right here is we have, as I mentioned, 3 China players. These are AI, again, written by cncHD. A lot of effort and love has been put into this. So what we're going to see is the same loadout starting with each of these AIs. You can see it on my mini-map in the lower left. These are how these guys are going to operate. 2 supply centers, 2 war factories, start to ramp up the tools for war, and these guys are going to immediately start to go at it. Now, there's a lot to unpack here. Writing an AI from scratch is no easy task. There's a lot of scripting to do. I've written my own mod and my own AI for StarCraft, the original StarCraft, and it is a pain in the butt. So a lot of love and dedication has gone into this, and I can't stress that enough. I have one on the far left, a blue China, one on the far right, a cyan China, and a red China in the bottom. Now, cncHD has coded all of this for each of these players to have their own role. This red AI here at the bottom is going to tech up and support their AI brethren, right away going for reinforcements on the right side. We can see a Battlemaster and a Gatling tank already moving. We're going to see another one helping Cyan. And this is based on map posturing. Right now, the Cyan player on the right side is kind of far away, and that's why red is going to support them as quickly as they can. Blue AI over here on the left is going to go for some attacking. We've got some oil derricks. We've got a sneaky dragon tank here on the right side. What a cheeky bloke. These Battle Masters are going to make some pretty good work on it, but a lot of combat's going to happen very, very quickly in the battlefield. This is going to be a complex commentation. There's a lot going on, so bear with me. Again, as we're going through this, if there's anything you want to see specifically, feel free, give a shout, let us know. At each 2-minute mark, I'm able to use one of these abilities. I'm going to give one of my AI some instant cash. I went into this outhouse. That gave 20k to the bottom middle CPU, the red guy. Now, my hope is that I can get this red guy to tech up, build up more stuff, either like get all the way to nukes or just better support. And now CNC has just given 20k to his top left CPU. So the cool thing is the human doesn't get to control any of the units. What we do get to control, though, is some battlefield manipulation. And that's how we're controlling the battle. CNC had this great idea. He was like, what if we kind of remove a bit of the human element and had it more AI and gave the human a little less to manage and control, but the human was still very well involved. And it's incredible. Every 2 minutes we can use one of these abilities, and we can see how the battlefield is progressing. We can give a certain amount of money to each, and the way that really works out is a very fluid gameplay, and it's very crisp. The AI is expanding in several areas as well, which is good to see. Again, can't stress this enough. A lot of love, a lot of care put into this. This is maybe a map you've seen before, but there's been a lot of changes. Different entry points, different customizations. Positions of oil and extra resources have been added, moved, rotated, changed, everything. And now what we're seeing are much quicker battles and much more efficient combat. This is not at all vanilla AI. I can't stress that enough. This isn't a simple point where they're just turtling like crazy. We're going to see a lot less defensive structures and a lot more stuff going on. I apologize for that badoo. I was stuck in Discord for a little bit there. Anyway, lots of movement, lots of stuff going on. There's stuff happening even in the middle. A lot of reinforcements changing hands. Little bit of a waypoint blockage here. We've got a little bit on the right side, but this map is still early alpha, is how we're both explaining this and how we're talking about it. That notification right there told me that I can use another ability. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce the left side economically. So I'm going to take my hijacker, put him in the leftmost outhouse. We're going to get a notification saying I've done that. So cncHD knows exactly what I'm doing, and I know exactly what he's doing. So I can keep track as the battle progresses where he's putting the most emphasis. And I pushed on the left because my left guy was having a little bit of problem trying to maintain the front. He might be pushing on a different perspective. And those notifications give us that really cool update on what's going on. Right side seems to be not having a problem. A little bit of horde bonus there. That's neat. We're testing a lot of stuff even in this recording. So what I'm really hoping to see is, okay, we got some red guards and they're capturing oils. That's awesome. There's a lot of conditioning. Oh, propaganda centers. Yes! That's something that's new. That took some effort, but that's really, really cool to see. The building of the propaganda center shows that the AI feels comfortable to tech up. And that's how cncHD's explained it to me. They feel comfortable in teching up. They either have extra resources or whatever. And this is all coded with everything in mind, right from the beginning with the command center being destroyed to like even my promotions. My promotions don't do anything. I don't have a base. I can't use it. I don't have anything. And that's completely fine. But this is really great. Many improvements have been done with this. This has been very pivotal. Now, one thing I'll just notice here, you might have seen the Battlemaster attacking the War Factory, but the second the Battlemaster was getting attacked, it retaliated and started to defend itself. We got a similar thing here. Yep, it's retaliating. So what happens with vanilla AI is they'll just stay on a single target until that target's destroyed, which makes them a very ineffective combatant. So lots of improvements here already. Super good stuff. Looks like maybe a small issue with the tank hunters. They don't seem to be doing a whole lot. Just seem like cannon fodder after they get kicked out of the listening outpost. But still pretty darn good. In about a second here, I should get another notification that I can use another ability. Yep, General. There we go. I'd like the right side to be reinforced a bit. So I'm going to give 20,000 to the right. Right now, what we've also worked on is an instant ability to what's called Assault or Berserk. And what that means is it takes all the units that an AI has and it sends them at the enemy. Instead of also giving 20k cash, we decided on like a passive thing. So what if it was like 50 monies every second or something? You know, something to kind of alleviate, give the player a little bit more choice, but that's all still work in progress. Also, as it stands right now, command abilities are not yet coded. In addition to that, nuclear weapons are still also not coded. At the 7-minute mark in the middle here, I was hoping to see a nuclear weapon, and I think there's still code that the AI has to feel comfortable enough in order for that to happen. There's some thresholds that have to be met, and that makes for some really good coding. Oh my gosh, War Factory, nuke. That is some very aggressive expansion and very big territory grab. Right here, Scion is doing a very neat job holding the line, while red and blue on the west are just... we're in deathball mode, right? This is great. Super good for my team. We also have a massive push down the center. Good control, captures all around. This shows very strong promise for my team. Now, it's going to be very interesting to see how CNC reacts. See if he gives any amount of money. In about 20 seconds here, he's going to have another opportunity to give another cash boost. Now, let's talk about these Jarmans right here. Each square is $10,000 represented. So I can assume the two on the left are less wealthy than the one on the far right. All of my AI. So if I want to do any configuring, we can know who to send money to. So maybe I send more money to the middle guy. Let's get more nukes. Let's get more end-tier items. Maybe overlords or something heavier, right?
Warning. Nuclear missile silo detected.
Oh, he got a nuke built. Unfortunately for cncHD, his enemy's his ally is on a run. Don't know how long that's going to last. I've got another promotion here, or another use of my command ability. I'm going to give it to... let's give it to red. I want to see red tech up a bit more, a little bit extra cash. Let's see if we get, oh man, people are building nukes. That's great. Right now, I don't believe the nuke, like using the nuke, is something that's available. That's not coded yet. Same thing with command powers. What we've got is a really neat setup here that, again, it's an AI versus AI tournament, 3v3. But again, this allows for people that are not generals veterans to be able to enjoy the game and show a little command prowess. Talk about it, work through strategies. Who do you give money? Who do you support? How do you work through that thought process? And this is where this really comes in beautifully. And this is actually a really great way on how you could teach strategy or tactics or whatever to someone that might not be super familiar with the general genre or RTS games in general. This is wonderful. Oh my gosh. I think cncHD is going to have a really bad time. In about 40 more seconds, we're going to get another use of our ability with our hijacker. What we've been calling it, or CNC's been calling it, is jokers, like wild cards in a deck of cards, right? If you've ever played cards, a 52 deck of cards, they usually come with 1 or 2 jokers. They're used for special rules for special games, but whenever I've played a game with someone, it's been like, consider it like a wild card, right? And that's exactly how we're treating this. Man, my guys are just deathballing all over the place. I'm going to support the far right player because they're having a hard time getting a little bit together, but also we've got a little bit of clumping here. Not the end of the world, but they might be playing these units as defensive. We didn't want turtles per se. We didn't want a ton of Patriots or a ton of Gatling towers or a ton of support defensive structures just willy-nilly. Offense is the best defense. cncHD and I both agree on that, and this allows for a comprehensive push. Look at all this. Look at all this deathball nonsense. With all the work that cncHD's put into this, what this has really done... Oh, hold on. Let me use my command ability. You're going to go on the right, my friend. Very good. What this has really done, with all the work he's put in for the AI, this adds for very, very quick matches. When I've been testing with cncHD over the last 2 weeks, I'd say, we never have a match go over 20 minutes. They're done in like 15 minutes or so on average, which means much more exciting action. There's a lot more to talk about, a lot more to commentate. You're not sitting on your butt for 2 hours just waiting for the AI to make a move. That's something that was a real pain in my last AI tournament with General 0 Hour. There have been times where we had 2 strong superpowers on the map not doing bupkis about anything. So let's talk about what to add, right? We've already talked about using the super weapons. Using generals' powers would be cool. What else do you guys want to see? Are you looking specifically for a lot of Air Force? Should our last guy here in the back, for red for me, yellow for cncHD, the guy that's supposed to be like ground support, should they be cranking out a ton of airfields and MiGs? Maybe like some sort of weird helix spam might be cool. Or maybe those tactics should be random, or maybe even governed by the player. Anything like that you can think of, feel free to throw in the comments. And also in the description field, I'm going to make sure we get a link to cncHD's channel. We're going to see his side of the commentary there, and I highly recommend you check it out. This guy knows his stuff. When it comes to generals, he just knows it. Like, it's almost like he's a Wikipedia of knowledge of how this game operates. And it's so cool to see. ECM tanks are actually a new addition. I think he just added like yesterday or today or something. That's super cool. So Gatling tanks, Battle Masters, ECMs, and listening outposts are pretty much the bread and butter of everything. And right now with this heavy push, I almost don't have to give cash, but we should do it anyway. Oh, it's not ready yet. Whoops.
Congratulations.
Ah, there we go. I was a little early. That's on me. I was a little early. Okay, a little bit of cash over to the right guy. Let him bunker up. We also have extra expansions. The AI will expand if, again, they feel comfortable enough. Comfortable is like they have enough cash, they don't feel they're immediately under attack or under threat. And this works out incredibly well. Yeah, everything flows very well. So, knowing how the money is distributed, how do you posture your troops, and how do you support them, really, is how this works. So this really adds, as a format, for a lot of great commentary. There's a lot of great stuff going on. There's a lot of things to discuss and how things work. And again, this takes a lot of the pressure off of the human, puts it on the AI, so the human can just observe and see how the AI operates. There's a ton to learn out of all this, and I can't overstate how excited I am about this. Very soon, the plan with this is to create a tournament off of this. And with the AIs doing the work, this makes the battle super crisp, super easy. We're at the 14-minute mark coming soon, very here, and the battle's almost over. So again, we're hitting 15 minutes on the average. Sometimes slightly longer if cncHD and I are evenly matched, like we both supply the left guy, or we both supply the right guy, or whatever. Lots of great improvements. This is still in development, absolutely. But feel free and let us know what you think in the description below. That's all of cncHD AI done and dusted. So, good game, absolutely. And that's it. So thank you all for joining us. My name is JohnMegacycle, and be sure to check the description below for cncHD's link and see the battle from his perspective. So, thanks again, and I hope to catch you next time.